My personal prayer is the invocation to Sophia. This is the prayer that opens my heart to actually embrace, embody, invite the Divine Feminine to be in and through and as me in everything I do, 24 hours a day. I did not plan that prayer. I did not write that prayer. It did not in any way, shape, or form come out of my left conscious mind. Oh, I think I would like to embody the Divine Feminine. Oh, I think I would like to write an invocation to the Divine Feminine. No, I don't think that's how it works. Instead, life comes knocking on the door, and our job is simply to walk through. Well, what happened to me in November of 2014, I was getting ready to teach the Lotus and the Lily, as I do every year, and the members of the course asked me, are you going to write a new prayer? Because there's a particular prayer that you write for this 30-day program. And I said, no, I'm not going to write a new prayer. I like the prayer I have. Well, duh. The next morning in my deep soul writing, whoosh, out came a brand new prayer. Prayer of a strong container. It's short. Here it is. I am a strong container for the life that wants to be lived in and through and as me in 2015 and beyond. It was 2015 that we were creating that year. That life is your life. Now, I didn't know at the time who your was. I simply thought I was speaking to the divine. That life is your life, our life. And so I ask to be a strong container, and I can, and I will, and I am. Had no idea how powerful that prayer that I was saying. And I can, and I will, and I am, because we are the strong container for a whole and holy, thrilling life flowing in and through and as us. Bless our holy container. Now, I thought, that is a cool prayer. And I did want to be a strong container for 2015. I had no idea that what I was really saying is what I love to call a dangerous prayer. And those are the best kind. This was a very dangerous prayer because listen to what I'm saying. I'm asking to be a strong container for the divine. Well, you say a prayer like that, it will not be ignored. So on December 1st, just 2 weeks later, I got sick. I don't get sick. Ever since I discovered Deep Soul Writing and learned how to get all of my stories out of me and onto the page, I stumbled into this strange reality that when you really engage in Deep Soul Writing, you are releasing all the toxins in your body. And ever since I discovered Deep Soul Writing, I don't get sick. So this got my attention. This really got my attention. For 6 days, I couldn't eat anything, and all my body did was purge. And I actually ended up sitting in that chair, my reading chair, for, turned out to be 40 days and 40 nights. Duh, right? Only please keep in mind, I didn't know it at the time. I did not understand that I was being given the great fast before the vision quest that every spiritual tradition will tell you is the beginning of your vision quest. I just thought I was sick. And I couldn't do a thing, so I sat there and read this enormous stack of books for the soul-directed life and did my deep soul writing. That's all I did for 40 days and 40 nights. I read and I soul write. I read and I soul wrote. And every single day I see now, it's easy to see these things in retrospect, the next little breadcrumb was put in front of me, and like Gretel and Hansel, I followed the little breadcrumbs, and you know where the breadcrumbs led? They led to the Divine Feminine. By the time that time period came to a close, I realized that your soul wants 5 things. This magnificent mystical prayer practice that I've been teaching since 2011 is the energetic template of the complete human divine being. I understood that my divine relationship is with Sophia. And I discovered that the divine feminine is alive, hidden perhaps, but absolutely alive and present in all of our traditions if we just know where to look. So when those 40 days and 40 nights were over, I had a completely new mystical relationship with the divine, and I had a new name for the divine. After 20 years of deep soul writing, it changed to Beloved Vibration of Sophia, exclamation point. I can't address her without the exclamation point. And I had this prayer, the invocation to Sophia. And I now say it every single day. I open my day with the 9 containers of love, and you can learn about that in 2 other videos. And then with those 9 containers, connecting me with the heart frequency of the divine feminine, because everything is in her, I stand here and speak my invocation to Sophia. So in this video, I'd like to slowly walk you through the invocation to Sophia. What are the parts? But please, please, please hear me. This is Janet's prayer. This is my invocation to the beloved as I perceive her. It's not a prayer that you memorize. You're certainly welcome to it. You're welcome to all the parts. You're welcome to my relationship with my teachers in the form of birds. But this is not a prayer that is meant for other people to memorize. Instead, it's an invitation. It's an invitation to explore your relationship with the divine as you perceive it. And I perceive her as Sophia. So as I prepared to, I knew I wanted to invoke her presence. And the book that gave me the phrase, the critical phrase that I was reading, sitting there in my 40 days and 40 nights, came in Cynthia Bourgeau's Love is Stronger Than Death. And Cynthia uses this phrase, and she's actually describing the Eucharist as perfectly contained, utterly vast. Sitting there reading that phrase, those words leapt off the page, landed right here in my heart, split my heart open, and I finally understood or received, because this isn't an intellectual understanding, this is a heart understanding. Oh, 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 oh. This is how you know when something is yours, when something is right, when something is mystical. It should be perfectly contained and utterly vast. Think of your books that speak to you deeply. Aren't they perfectly contained, utterly vast? Yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong. Aren't those perfectly contained systems, and through them you access what is utterly vast? This is my phrase, absolutely. My prayer had to all be about being perfectly contained in this body and through this body, utterly vast, because the divine feminine is alive in this body. So this is my prayer, invocation to Sophia. It opens first chanting the names of the divine feminine. And it does this rather than just go right into Sophia, because I had a angel guidance conversation through Margot Master Amarchi, and the angels kind of scolded me. They reminded me that Sophia is not a statue. Sophia is not an entity. Sophia is a vibration. And they were very specific about that term, vibration. And because I did grow up Orthodox Catholic, and you know, I can slip into statues and holy cards and rituals so easily. So I felt it was important for me to remember every single day that Sophia is a vibration of the divine feminine, and there are other names of the divine feminine, each one of which is a vibration. So this is how I begin. Invocation to Sophia. Vibration, I'm speaking to myself, I'm reminding myself, vibration of Sophia. Now as I chant her name, I'm pausing. I'm not just saying a name, and I'm feeling the vibration. I'm going to create a 360-degree sphere, and I'm invoking, calling, honoring, and feeling her frequency in my presence and in my heart. Sophia. And then I name another very huge divine feminine vibration for me, thanks to my yoga practice, Shakti. And those two names fill the first quadrant, so to speak. And then I turn my foot to fill in the next quadrant. So this is the quadrant I'm going to fill in now. And I'm going to enter the Judaic tradition. Chokmah, Shekinah, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. And now I turn my foot and I'm going to do this quadrant. And this quadrant for me, now mind you, these are simply the names of the Divine Feminine that I adore. You, don't have to do this piece at all, but if you feel called to, invoke the names of the divine, all of them, any of them that speak to your heart. This is sort of my own, you could call it zikr practice. So in this quadrant, I want to go to the east, Tara and Kuan. And I'm lowering my body because I'm making a 360-degree sphere. This is like the hologram of the holographic sphere of the Divine Feminine. Tara Kuan. The last quadrant, I'm going to go through the Hindu tradition. Durga, Devi Mahatma, Lakshmi, Mother Kali. Now from here, I'm feeling this 360-degree sphere that I'm in. I'm feeling the vibration of all of these divine feminine names, goddesses, vibrations, energies. And I'm going to wrap it up with the presence of the divine feminine that I grew up with, the Holy Spirit, Holy Wisdom, and then I'm going to close or complete this magnificent sphere, feeling the 360-degree sphere with the word, the phrase, the name, the vibration that to me captures the whole thing, and that's sacred essence. So I've finished with Lakshmi and Mother Kali, Holy Spirit, Holy Wisdom, sacred essence, prayer of the perfectly contained, utterly vast. Now, it takes a long time to explain all that, but it's very fast when you're actually doing it, and in the next video, you can simply watch me dance, pray, this mystical prayer practice. So now I'm ready for the prayer itself. And for me, it's about being carried. You carry me is the essential phrase. And I'm saying to the Divine Feminine, you carry me. And there are days when I stand here and go, oh, you got to carry me. Carry me, okay? You carry me. And there are days when I'm feeling very powerful and I say, you carry me, simply because it's the truth. So this prayer changes. It's a reflection of where I am right now, what I'm feeling right now, what I need right now from Sophia. So we have done the vibration, and this is the prayer of the perfectly contained, utterly vast. You carry me, Sophia. You carry me on the strong wings of osprey to embrace the wisdom of the day. Now I'm going to name all of my animal teachers who, over time, took me a long time to see that they were my teachers, and that as far as I can tell now, looking back, they were sent by Sophia. It's another one of those breadcrumbs, but these are breadcrumbs that have been here for 20 years. And it begins, you all know this from my book, Writing Down Your Soul. This is the book most of you know me initially. This is how most people find me. And in this book, I tell the story of the osprey. That was the first animal messenger that I couldn't miss. All through the divorce, I was surrounded by ospreys. And an osprey actually moved into the tree in my backyard and stayed with me for 18 months through the worst of the divorce. And I would step outside every night and say my prayers, looking up at this osprey who was probably no more than 8 or 10 feet away. And I would say my prayers through the osprey. And if you've read the book, you know that at the end of the 18 months when I simply had to let the house go, I went outside sobbing and saying to the osprey, thank you, thank you. We are safe. Your work is complete. I'm so sorry. I have to sell this house. You can go now. And in the moment I said that, there's nothing like the sound of an osprey practically on top of you, opening his wings, and you could hear that whoosh, whoosh. And ever since, ospreys are with me. They're always with me. They were with me when I moved into this house. I'm surrounded by ospreys. Ospreys are absolutely my animal teacher. So of course, this is how Sophia teaches me, on the strong wings of osprey. So who's next? Well, of course, it's got to be the owl, right? You carry me on the silent wings of owl. Now I move very slowly to receive the wisdom, grace, and blessings of the night. So I've received the powerful strength of the day and the silent wisdom of the night. So who's next? For me, it's the dove. Sophia came in that 40 days and 40 nights. I learned that 108, the gematria, the number of the divine feminine, is the dove. And the dove is Aphrodite, and the dove is Venus, and the dove is the Holy Spirit on Jesus's left shoulder. There's dove, the Holy Spirit, the dove is everywhere. And for me, she is the symbol of the divine feminine of Sophia. And if you've read Soul Vows, you know that she moved in. She actually built a nest. She built a nest. She built a nest in my house. And so I have to acknowledge Sophia. So how am I going to do that? I say, you carry me on the gentle wings of dove into the heart of the mother. And I have to tell you this, right now as we're filming, there's a dove on my feeder. She always shows up when I say this prayer, without exception. Oh, that just feels like an adorable little spirit wink from Sophia. So who's next? Well, I had the strangest experience in December of 2013 when a falcon settled onto the telephone pole outside my house and stayed and stayed and stayed. So I spent a couple hours with that falcon asking for the message. Did you know that a falcon is the fastest and bravest animal on earth? Talk about a teacher, huh? So how am I going to get falcon in my body? How am I going to honor falcon as one of Sophia's teachers? This is how I do it. You carry me on the fearless wings of falcon into the depths of the mystery. And replicating falcon, I mean, I feel so powerful, so strong when I make that movement. I hope you're enjoying or appreciating that instead of just saying the words, but actually embodying Sophia's teachers, really brings all of their wisdom, all of their grace, all of their teachings, all of their beauty into my body, which is where I need it. So who comes after falcon? I thought this prayer was complete until last summer, when Express Your Soul's Beauty, which will be the 5th book in the series, Your Soul Wants 5 Things. It's not a book yet, but my sister of my heart, Christine Pensa, and I co-taught this radical new creativity course unlike anything that's out there. Opening night, I step outside, and what do I see on the pavers? Here she is. Woo! An absolutely perfect and complete Florida monarch butterfly. I don't think that was an accident. I've lived in this house 17 years, and never has a perfect entire body of a monarch butterfly been waiting for me. So of course I picked her up, brought her in, and immediately sat down and did my deep soul writing and asked her, who are you and what's your message? And her name is Fortuna. When that came out of my hand, I went, Fortuna? And of course, she's all about expressing your soul's beauty, right? That's the day she came. So here's how I honor her teaching. I'm moving my body in a figure 8 because this is the symbol that we follow, that we literally walk and express your soul's beauty. This is the path of creation spirituality. And so this feels good to me to be Fortuna by saying, you carry me on the tiny orange wings of a butterfly to express my soul's beauty. This part of the prayer, I always kind of hate to stop it because it feels so exciting, so beautiful, and I can just feel her little orange wings right here. Now who's next? Well, you've read Soul Vows, right? And who's on the cover of Soul Vows? On these beautiful plates that Maggie Stoltz, a wonderful ceramic artist in Virginia, she makes one for every one of my books. Why is there a swan on the cover of Soul Vows? Well, I'll let you read the book and explore the map for yourself, but in Soul Vows, in the 6th chakra, we meet Swan. And what does Swan do? Swan pierces the veil of time. So, swan wings are huge, right? So, I want to be Swan. So, this is what I do. You carry me on the giant white wings of Swan to pierce the veil of time. I love doing that every morning because I have too much on my plate. I always have more things to do than a person could possibly do in one day. And people always ask me, how do you do it? How do you do it? How can you possibly write the books, teach the courses, do the live radio show? And I say, I don't know. And then I remember, wait a second. I ask Sophia to help me pierce the veil of time every day. And I like doing that with a very sharp razor, because I really need the veil of time pierced. So now comes, in a lot of ways, my favorite teacher. I wanted to have snake in my prayer. I just have to have snake. I'm madly in love with snakes. Snakes have been my teachers. Whenever they appear, they teach me something so profound, so important. You can see how I feel about snake. Oh, what a teacher, because snake is transmutation. That means change at the cellular level. And mystical prayer practice, embodying the divine feminine, that's going to change you at the cellular level. So I wanted snake in my prayer, but snake doesn't have wings, and snake's not a bird, but I was not giving up snake. I had to honor what a great teacher that is. So here's what I do. We've pierced the veil of time. You carry me on the invisible wings of snake to be transformed by love. Do you see the caduceus? This is the two-headed snake, Shiva and Shakti coming together. And I don't know why, but I always have to sing that one. To be transformed by love. Thank you, Sophia, that I am. Third eye, heart. Thank you, Sophia, that I am perfectly carried. Well, by the time I've done the osprey wings and the owl wings and the dove wings and the falcon wings and the swan wings and the wings, oh, and butterfly. How could I leave out Fortuna? By the time I've done all of those wings, I'm feeling pretty carried. What is it that I could possibly need that I am not given, taught, carried? So, thank you, Sophia, that I am perfectly carried, perfectly contained, utterly, utterly, utterly vast. I promise you, if you start your day opening the 9 containers of love and then invoking the beloved as you perceive the beloved, as you perceive the beloved, your prayer could be completely different from mine. But I would invite you to enter into a deep soul relationship, meditation, prayer, and open to know who the beloved is, and then invoke her presence, its presence. Our pronouns don't work very well here, do they? Invoke the divine presence every single day. Every single day. And your life, because you're walking as a container, you are now a strong container for the living presence, the heart frequency, the vibration of love.